Hello, my name's Alina Bradshaw, and I am arguing why Hollywood films should have to pass the Bechdel test. So, for those of you who are unfamiliar, the Bechdel test is a really simple test for films that states that there has to be a minimum of two female characters. They have to be named, and they have to speak to each other at least once, and they have to speak to each other about something other than a man. Seems like a pretty reasonable test. Women are 50% of the population. Women are very complex individuals, just like men are. So you would think that it would be really simple to find film that represents the complexity of a woman on the female or on the screen. Unfortunately, it is more challenging than you might think to see this. So why is this important? Women make up 50% of the population, and we all know that media has a really big role in shaping the way that things change for us as a society. So while there is no doubt that women have seen progress over the last 100 years or so, since white women were first granted the right to vote, and then followed by women of color being granted the right to vote. We've seen more representation, we've seen more ability. We have a female vice president of the United States right now. There are many powerful women around the world. We know that representation matters. When we see women who exist in film only to support male roles, to be hypersexualized or objectified, to not even be named, or to really exist to support the male role, like they're a mother figure, or they're a supportive wife, or maybe there are multiple women in the story, but they really exist as love interests or as character, as plot devices, really. And I'm not really arguing that there shouldn't be movies that only have a male cast, or we have films that predominantly are one individual that wouldn't pass the Bechdel test, even if that one individual was a woman. Film is art and can be many things, but when we consistently see women underrepresented and in a way that isn't true of the complexity of the female life and the diversity of what a female life can look like, we see so many different depictions of what a man can be in film and in media. I would like to see that same amount of complexity reflected in the media that we create about women. And so the Bechdel test is a really simple way to advocate for that without really putting very harsh constraints. It's not a difficult test to pass, but it does ask that we more closely develop women characters that don't exist solely to support the men in their movies. And when films struggle to pass a test as simple as two named female characters that speak to each other for any length of time about something other than a man, it speaks to where we've kind of idled, where we've stalled as a society when it comes to female representation. I would argue that in order to really begin making a change in the way that women are represented, the Bechdel test is a very easy, very simple way to ensure that we're at least attempting to develop more complex female characters on screen, which we know can have tremendous ripple effects in our society over time. And so while the Bechdel test may not be the end-all answer, a requirement for film to meet these really, really simple standards will help to make progress to ensure strong female representation. Thank you.